In the depths of the Maple world lies a tunnel seemingly shaped by the monsters that dwell within. A place where light fades, and each step forward reveals creatures more grotesque than the last. Many entered hoping to prove themselves, or simply to see what lay beyond the safety of the world above. This tunnel was a long descent into darkness, and at the end waits an ancient evil. As a new adventurer, you arrive in Lith Harbor, stepping onto the docks full of ambition and possibility. The world is your oyster. You choose your path and enjoy that one-time discount on taxi fare. Archers head to the warm fields of Hennessus. Thieves slip into the alleys of Kerning City. Warriors climb the cliffs of Pirion. And magicians go up into the trees of Elenia to learn from the fairies. This is Victoria Island, the first place Maplers call home. You begin your journey by honing your skills on lesser foes. Snails, mushrooms, slimes. They're charming, adorable. You level up quickly and without much danger. But eventually, your strength outgrows this place. You'd seek greater challenges, darker places. No matter which town you started in, a path to the center of the island was always available. Signs along the way read simply, "To the dungeon." This journey has to be taken entirely on foot, at least the first time. Within the shrouded forest of towering trees, you come upon the aptly named Sleepy Wood. Sleepy is right. The music here is tranquil. The usual hustle and bustle of town life is absent. No free markets and only a handful of NPCs. It's slightly inconvenient though. No taxis come here. And to buy potions, adventurers have to pay a small entrance fee to enter Mr. Wetbottom's spa room. But hey, at least your HP regenerates a little faster. This quiet little town is the last true place of rest before entering the dungeon. As you enter Ant Tunnel, the world turns hostile. The music shifts, no longer calm but tense, dark, and a bit sad. Even the terrain starts to feel aggressive, warped and tricky. Here, nature seems to turn against you. The usually cute and cuddly mushrooms begin to take on an unfriendly appearance. Horny mushrooms swarm the upper tunnels, while the zombie mushrooms lurk below. They're further corrupted versions of what once felt harmless. Their design draws from Chinese folklore, with the yellow talisman on their foreheads resembling Jiangxi, reanimated corpses said to sometimes arise from improper burials or lingering souls. What could have cursed them like this? This first map is a prime training spot for soon-to-be or fresh second-job players. Here, players hold down parts of the tunnel. The map can split between as few as 2 or 3 players, or be shared with way more, with lower levels grinding the upper paths, and higher levels mobbing the more aggressive undead below. A long linear map like this is more convenient with multiple characters, so most of the time you don't even have to ask. Just find a spot and get to work. Do you ever wonder why this place is called Ant Tunnel? Maybe because the winding, narrow corridors resemble the kind of burrowed paths that ants carve underground. Layered rock with twisting passages and slightly claustrophobic. It feels like a massive subterranean colony. Maybe it's a metaphor for the long, winding grind. Maybe we're the ants in this situation. Most of the maps that follow are transitory. You pass through them, but not many stay to train due to their massive size and complex layouts. As you push deeper, a surprising convenience appears at the halfway point. A food truck, manned by a guy with a megaphone. He's been yelling about his hot subs and corn dogs for about 20 years now. Up to this point, you'd been moving almost exclusively horizontally, left to right through the tunnel with a few dips. But after the 24-hour store, you start to go down. Here, there's a series of tight caves infested with evil eyes. These creatures look like some kind of mutation. They're freaky, and another step along the path of increasingly twisted enemies. But ugly or not, they're perfect for mobbing. Archers may have had a rough time here, but warriors, and especially ice lightning wizards, thrived. Eventually, you make your way through the Evil Eye Caves and come across a new foe, drakes. These large, dinosaur-like beasts signal the end of the yellow part of Ant Tunnel. From here, the atmosphere shifts again. The lighting dims, and the air grows cold. The music grows sparse, and an eerie silence settles in, amplifying the sense of isolation. Ice vents shoot up from the cave floor. Environmental hazards like these signal the increasing hostility of the dungeon. Even the layout becomes a test. Dead ends, pits, and trickier terrain. If it's your first time, it's easy to get lost. But there are some neat tricks you can pull off with the platforming. You can use the bumps or vents to accelerate your jumps, clearing gaps that seem impossible otherwise. It feels good to nail those. Because the maps are so large and have low spawn rates, few players stick around. You usually find yourself passing through alone. Then, there's one more moment of pause. This is Dungeon, another entrance. It's a place to breathe. It's also a fork in the road. The upper path leads to Drake's Meal Table and Wild Cargo territory. These are early high-level zones. I have a lot of fond memories of training at DMT on my warrior characters. And tucked into the chaos of the meal table is Bob, a quirky version of the regular snail enemy, except this one can jump. And when you hit it, it multiplies. It's a nice touch. On the floor here lies an injured hunter, Gwyn. Turns out Bob helped save his life when he got hurt at the meal table. Now Gwyn wants to make sure we show the snail proper respect. Below, at the lower path, you meet the insignificant being. He's a cryptic presence, offering the few answers that this place will give. His body has long since passed away, but his spirit clings to this place, working to keep a great danger sealed within. He doesn't give many details beyond that. During MapleStory beta and the early days, this is pretty much how storytelling was. It wasn't so reliant on exposition and dialogue, and more on atmosphere and a sense of intrigue. Upon taking the lower path, you open the towering stone doors to some place sacred and forgotten. This last descent begins with endless droves of cold eyes. These are the highest level variants of the Evil Eye. They're sickly in appearance, and they have an icy gaze, and they're seemingly endless, with really high mob counts. After a map of nothing but these guys, the terrain changes. The rocky paths of Ant Tunnel give way to a flat, solemn ground. This place feels man-made. There are endless stone columns that stretch into the background, ancient and imposing. The broken pillars lying all around also seem to hint at some sort of disaster that took place here long ago. At first, it just seems like more cold eyes, but descend from the safety of the upper platforms and you'll come across the true guardians, Taromaces. With the head of an ox and the body of a street fighter, Taromaces stand as the keepers of the sanctuary. Their design is inspired by the Minotaur of Greek myth. Taromaces feel like echoes of that same archetype, embodiments of rage and isolation, creatures cursed to guard a place they may never leave. Unlike most enemies, we only see their backs and a sliver of their profile. It's unique, intimidating, and kind of unsettling. No one knows why they guard this place. Some say they are bound for punishment for a forgotten crime. Whatever the reason, they defend this place with ferocity. They wield a crescent-shaped spear, they run fast, and they hit hard. If you're weak and happen to aggro them, escape is unlikely. Climbing a rope to safety becomes a desperate gamble as their lightning bolts rain down with frustrating precision. In the early days, most players came here not to train, but to witness, to admire those powerful enough to take down these big guys. Anyone brave enough to press on passes through 3 more chambers like this. The latter 2 introduce an even greater beast, Toro's Spear. These monsters can hit for well over 1,000 damage, and they'll easily one-shot a noob. This place was made to be explored. The cold eyes don't hit hard enough to keep low-level players out, and the maps offer upper platforms and ropes that allow those weaker players to traverse the zone without direct confrontation, provided they're patient and don't miscalculate their jumps. Finally, you've reached the Cursed Sanctuary. It's a tall, silent map. Only one monster spawns here, and it's the greatest threat to Maplers on Victoria Island, a devil incarnate, the Balrog. Well, Junior Balrog. It's the final boss of Victoria Island, an ancient evil spirit with massive wings, razor-sharp claws, and a presence unlike anything else on the continent. Its appearance is unmistakably demonic, and its elemental weakness to holy attacks confirms its dark nature. A force of darkness bound to a place that feels as much like a tomb as it does a dungeon. It has 3 signature attacks. The first looks like the Magician's Magic Claw, but this one is red and brutal. The second attack summons a fireball that it hurls at you. This one is avoidable. For its most powerful move, the Balrog spreads its wings wide and conjures a 3-part rune, a symbol reminiscent of ancient summoning glyphs, where triangles and intersecting lines were believed to call forth forbidden forces. The upward triangle symbolizes fire, air, and masculine energy. It's a fitting design choice, because once the incantation is complete, a hard-hitting meteor crashes down on you from above. Coming across the Junior Balrog is awesome. Most players who venture here are lucky to even see it, given its incredibly long spawn time, which usually stretches upwards of 6 hours. Years later, Nexon introduced a new Balrog PQ featuring Lord Balrog. This reframed Junior Balrog is what its name always implied, that it was a lesser spawn of a greater evil. The PQ added phases, mechanics, and a proper boss structure, but I didn't play during that era, so for me, the real Balrog will always be the one lurking in the Cursed Sanctuary. Ant Tunnel is a place to grind, explore, and learn from. Some of my best memories of this place came from wandering through these tunnels with no real goal, just to see what was down there. The maps are iconic, the monsters are memorable, and the unanswered questions still linger. What is the Balrog? Who built the sanctuary? And what happened to it? Ant Tunnel was MapleStory's first dungeon, and it showed off one of the game's most brilliant design philosophies. A friendly, charming world full of cute monsters that gradually leads you into deeper, darker, and scarier places. It's a really satisfying contrast, and it makes for an awesome journey to experience again and again. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. This is my longest MapleStory video so far, and I hope you enjoyed the journey. I also want to give a huge shout out to all my new subscribers. My last video on the level 60 to 70 bracket really blew up, and I'm so thankful for all the kind words, feedback, and personal memories you've shared with me. At the time of recording, I've just passed 1,500 subs, and it's a huge milestone for me. I still can't believe so many people are enjoying what I'm creating. It just makes me more excited to keep improving my content and get started on the next video. If you liked this video, drop a like and share your thoughts, whether it's memories of Ant Tunnel, thoughts about MapleStory Classic World, or ideas for future topics. I'd really love to hear from you. Thanks again, and until next time,